So welcome back to another episode, and today I'm going to give my early impressions of Horizon Zero Dawn, the big new game from Sony and Guerrilla Games. And Guerrilla Games did Killzone in the past. They're an internal development studio for Sony, and they've been working on this game for 6+ years now, and there's been a lot of hype towards it. There's been a lot of build-up, and did the game deliver? Does the game deliver? I'm going to talk all about that today. Also to note, this is a no spoiler review, so I'm not revealing any story spoilers. And let me tell you, in the first 10 hours of the game that I played, there's some twists and turns, and I'm not going to ruin any of them for you. I'm going to talk very basically about the early plot, but I do want to note that I will be showing footage from the first few hours of the game. So if you consider that spoilers to yourself, please do not watch the video. You've been warned now. So for the basic storyline, you play a female character called Aloy, and you've been raised by a guy called Rost since your birth, and you're basically outcasts from the big tribes that are in this world. And let me just say this, is that this world is a character into itself, and it's so lush and beautiful to explore. I'll get into the graphics of this game in a little bit, but I just want to talk about the world setting here. At first glances, it seems like a medieval style world, but there's a history to this world. There is a hidden history in that there was a war or some incident that happened thousands of years ago, and it wiped out all of mankind, and all of that technology has been lost and is kind of hidden and spread throughout the land for you to explore. So it creates for this amazing technology versus medieval setting, and that's what the entire thing is based on. All of the tribespeople dress in things that they would find in the land, like furs and leather and stuff like that. But also, they have incorporated some ancient technology into some of their clothing and into some of their building designs, and it's really a fascinating combination of both ideas. And this is a very dangerous world. There's other tribes out there that are against you, but there's all these mechanical, biomechanical beasts walking throughout the land. And here's the thing that's fascinating about the enemies in this game, is that they all have particular strengths and weaknesses, and they all have their own unique hunting patterns as well, and you can take advantage of their strengths and weaknesses with a device that Aloy has, which is called a focus, and it's part of some ancient technology, and it allows you to scan the world. It will show you things that are important within the world. If you're in a dungeon, it'll show you how to activate a certain doorway to open that up, but in the main field against monsters, it will show you their strengths and weaknesses, and that's what's really cool, so you can take advantage of that. So sometimes it'll show you where to hit a particular creature. It's always good to hit them in the eyes. That's always the thing that you want to do. But sometimes they have canisters on their back or behind them. They're always at different locations, and you can use your weapons to hit those locations to take out the enemy a lot faster. And the one thing that I do like about attacking creatures in this game is that when you take it down and you haven't completely destroyed it, it has just a little bit of energy left, it'll slow down and be lethargic and can't get away as fast. And I really like that. It adds a lot of real uniqueness to that. And also, the focus allows you to see certain pathways of monsters and see which ways they will walk before they actually do that walk, so you can avoid them through stealth. And that's another thing to talk about with this game that I didn't realize going into it. There was going to be a lot of stealth elements in it. So one thing is, when you're hunting monsters, it's good to crouch through grass, walk as slowly as possible so you don't alert the entire group of creatures to your presence, so you can take down certain creatures one at a time on your leisure that way. But stealth plays a very big part of this game. So for your basic attacks, you have your melee attacks, which is a light attack and a heavy attack, and you use that with your spear, but you also have your long range attacks as well, so you can use those with your bow and arrow. And you can also purchase and trade for different weapons. And let me say, there's a lot of weapons in this game. I don't want to give a lot of spoilers because there's some really fun gun attacks in this game that are so awesome when you get to them. And speaking of weapons, this is a huge part of the game that I'm going to get to right now. Crafting. Crafting is everything in this game. There's a huge crafting element, and that is to do with all of your ammunition you find in the world. So In the world, you'll go out and you'll find wood, you'll find metal shards, you'll put those together, you'll create arrows. And another thing I gotta stress that's really important is that every single item can be upgraded in the game. Even your arrows can be upgraded to fire arrows. Basic ammunition can be upgraded as well. Weapons can be upgraded. You can add additional slots to those. Armor can be upgraded. You can add additional slots to that. It's really amazing how much you can upgrade in this game. So if you like a particular weapon, you can upgrade it as much as you want. So a lot of customization. There's a lot of in-depth stuff into the weapons and items of this game and armor. There's also a skill tree for your character as well. So you can enhance your attacks, you can improve stealth, and you can also improve scavenging. So when you're out in the world and you kill a monster, you can also scavenge their body for items that you can use to improve your own items by combinations and crafting. There's your basic inventory section for your weapons, your outfits, your items, and your ammo. There's the crafting section to modify your weapons and outfits. There's a map, and this is what's crazy. I'm at a section of the game when the world has completely opened up, and I cannot believe how huge this world is. It's amazing. There's so much to explore. And there's a quest system. It shows your active quests, errands that you can do, side quests that you can do. There's a lot to do. The controls in this game are very, very good. And I'm gonna get into the graphics and how all that works in just a second, but I just want to talk about the gameplay for a second, is that it really controls well. So when you have the bow and you're aiming, it's very nice. You're always in full control. It doesn't stutter, it doesn't feel off. It feels really nice. Whenever you're using any weapon, it feels beautiful. Just running around the world and traversing and climbing, mountains and stuff like that feels fantastic. Just going up a ladder feels very, very fast. Okay, now I'm gonna gush about the graphics, and I'm gonna gush because there were so many moments when I just put the controller down and I was like, wow. Or I'd scroll around my character and just see the world at any given time and went, wow. There were so many wow moments, and I even was saying to my wife, I'm like, oh my God, come here, you gotta check out these graphics. Like, look at this is incredible. This game, I was playing it, as I say, on the PlayStation Pro, gorgeous, no stuttering, no pop-up. Just, I was surprised running around, and I'm showing footage here of just running around what the game looks like. There's no crazy glitches. It's just beautiful looking. No, this game is gorgeous, honestly. When you see fireflies for the first time in bushes, fungus on the trees, like mushrooms on the trees, very cool details. Particles in the air, shadows falling onto the trees, look just amazing. Beautiful waterfalls, just running past those are just incredible. Snow-covered mountains with hints of ancient technology throughout them. It's a sight to behold. I've been really surprised by this game, how strong graphically it is, just running around it, and I can't describe to you how amazing it is to explore this world and just run, past a waterfall and see like a cave off to the side. It's just wonderful with monsters spread throughout the land. This is a great gaming environment, and I gotta applaud the developers of this game because it is so gorgeous to look at and so easy and free to run around. And the one thing that I don't want to do with this game, and I thought about this consciously before I came in to talk about it, is I don't want to compare it to any other game. I think a lot of people want to compare this to a Zelda open world game, or maybe even The Witcher or games like that, and that's fine to do. But for me, I went into this game and I take it as its own unique game. And this is a very unique, brand new franchise for Sony. And they've come out swinging. I was really looking for some things that I'd be like, well, this game's kind of, not good here. It's lacking here. Once you start getting into the controls, and there's a lot to do in this game with the crafting and the weapons and the amount of stuff, but it's fun and it's very easy to pick up on, and it's very intuitive. It's something that you don't need to do a tutorial in, and I think that's what they even said with the game, is that they didn't give you a tutorial. They just throw you in and say, get going. And I like it. I really, really like it. I like exploring the world, exploring the story, and I really want to say, and I'm no spoilers in the story, it's really interesting. It's really gripping. I've had a great time with Horizon Zero Dawn, and I get to play a lot of games in this show, and a lot of games I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's a good game. But this game is like, I'm being very impressed, and I can easily recommend it to you guys to try out. It's a lot of fun, great world setting, great characters, really interesting storyline. I can't go on enough about the world and how alive it is. This world is alive and really fun to explore. I don't know the game's length at this point because I'm only about 10 hours in. I'm hearing, this is rumor, about 30 hours. And that's before all the reviews have come out, so I'm talking about that. I want to thank Sony for the review copy. This has been a pure pleasure, and I got a few games to review, and I was like, oh shit. And this is not one of them. This is a really fantastic game, so highly recommended. Horizon Zero Dawn, 2 double thumbs ups. It's an excellent, excellent game. I cannot wait to get back to exploring it. So anyways, guys, until next time.